to do what they did. All right, I like that. Next one. Which team has a better shot at making the playoffs this coming season, Steelers or Patriots? Go.
This is a tough one. I'm going to have to go with the Patriots, I think, because the unknown of the Patriots is interesting. They're bringing back Dante Hightower, and they've made so many additions through their draft and free agency to improve this team. And there's still that residual respect that we have for the Patriot way and Bill Belichick. I believe in that and the potential of their young quarterback, because I'm not sure that Cam's going to make it through the season. You look at all these new names and some old names returning, including Kyle Van Noy, that this team seems like the arrow is pointing up and it's a question mark. With the Steelers, it feels like the arrow is pointing down, and where there are question marks, it's hard to get excited about their offensive line improving or their running game improving.
Yeah, it's another one where we sort of trust the brand more, I think, than we trust what we see on the field. All right, last one. Give me the best fit for Julio Jones.
I think it's San Francisco, the 49ers. We've talked about them a lot this offseason. Is they're a team without any real holes, and their best receiver is George Kittle, a tight end. You would love to see them add a kind of all-time great, true number one, reunite Julio Jones with Kyle Shanahan, and see the type of season they could put together. It's hard to convince me that there's any place that Julio would feel more comfortable, any offense that he would feel more comfortable than a Kyle Shanahan offense with a young athletic quarterback in Trey Lance. That's the best spot.
Well, that certainly is one of the many intriguing possibilities. But let me bring back Graziano and Olshinsky here. And Danny, I will start with you. You have a different team. I'm sorry, it's becoming a running joke. You have a different team in mind for Julio Jones. Which team is that?
I would say the New England Patriots. I think that the AFC is a class of three teams right now. I think it's the Buffalo Bills, I think it's the Cleveland Browns, and I think it's the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously. And if the New England Patriots got Julio Jones, he would vault then into that group of now 4 football teams. I don't think it's a team that goes, okay, they've got a rookie quarterback on a rookie salary, let's take the risk here, because then I think it's going to cost you so many picks to go get Julio. You take away some of the assets that you're going to need to build around your young quarterback once you pay him. New England's a great opportunity because we don't talk about how dominant their offensive line is going to be. This offense goes in 1 year from really pedestrian last year to, if they got Julio Jones, they would be one of the hardest offenses in the NFL to stop. They'd have a dominant offensive line, a super creative play caller in Josh McDaniels, and then a one-on-one weapon on the outside that is almost impossible to cover in that situation. The Patriots.
So we're talking about the Niners and we're talking about the Patriots. Dan Graziano, let's make it clear why we're talking about Julio Jones. What is generally the expectation you're hearing around the league for what happens with him?
I think more likely than not, he gets traded. I don't think it's 100%. It's a tricky situation. Remember, Julio Jones is a player that is really, really revered and loved by the Atlanta Falcons fan base in a way that I think if you're not there, you really don't fully understand. You have a new GM and a new coach coming in. If their first act is to trade such a player, they really need to get it right. And they need to make sure and get good value for him. It wouldn't happen until after June 1st for cap reasons. If they did it now, it would cost them $23.25 million against their cap and dead money this year. They wait till after June 1st, that number drops to about $7.75. So watch it over the next few months. But it's a situation that I think most people around the league believe will end in Julio Jones playing somewhere else in 2021.
All right, so again, there are still impactful moves that could get made during this offseason. Next order of business, I want you to hear something that was said over the weekend. To set it up, Justin Herbert will be entering his second year looking to improve upon having been the rookie of the year in year one. And this time he's going to be under a new coach and a new coaching staff. The new head coach is Brandon Staley. Bruce Arians, who's been around, the head coach of the Buccaneers, says that isn't to the benefit of the young quarterback, telling NFL.com's Jim Trotter, worst thing that can happen, learning new isn't ever good. So Dan Orlovsky, I am on record, and I'm going to ride this thing as saying Justin Herbert is my pick to be the MVP of the league this coming year. So explain to me why what Bruce Arians said shouldn't make me worried.
Oh, thankfully we got the iPad. Greeny, I don't think learning new is always a bad thing. I'd say the new offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, that goes to the Chargers, he needs to take what Justin Herbert does really well and build the offense around it. They really need to be like LMFAO, right? Shots, and shots for Justin Herbert. Why? Brain and bombs coming from the right shoulder. Last year, a perfect example. This is against Tampa Bay, the Super Bowl champion. Now, Tampa Bay's defense is going to be in a quarters defense, zone defense. Again, each defensive back is responsible for a quarter of the field. Now, this is a max protection play action pass. They're going to take their offensive line and they're going to slide them this way, bring this guy, slide the offensive line that way, bring this guy back and sift. And they're going to go 7-man protection to take advantage of those shots, the bomb downfield. Now, the pass concept is going to be this. They're going to take this receiver cut split and run them through those two safeties. Now, your job, receiver, speed between those safeties. This is not a Justin Herbert responsibility. You as the receiver, go win. Now, down at the bottom of the screen, I'm going to send you up, out, deep, and back. Now, Justin Herbert knows because of that quarters coverage, this guy's not really my first responsibility view-wise. This corner is. I need that corner because I've got the out, up, and back. I need that corner to sit. Now, again, play action pass bombs, okay? This is going to be perfect for Justin Herbert's skill set. Now, look at his eyes. He's coming out trying to see that corner. He knows that corner, because it's in quarters coverage, has got vision on him. All right, corner, are you hanging low? But why is he hanging low, Dan? Why do you want to see if that corner is going to sit? Because I'm taking this guy and I'm running him through those safeties. Receiver, go with speed down the field. I can launch the ball. I'm 6'5", 240 pounds. Now Herbert's going to bring his eyes down to the corner, and now he's going to go back to that safety. Okay, safety, did you squat just a little bit? You weren't my first read. You're my second read. Did you squat a little bit? Now this is what's separate from Justin Herbert to a lot of young quarterbacks. All right, ball's coming out of his hands. Now everyone see, that's about the 36-yard line, right? That play action bomb pass, 36-yard line. The receiver hasn't even beaten either of the defensive backs right now. But that corner sitting tells him, I can launch this ball all the way down to space. Now, I told you it's from the 36-yard line, and now let's see where it lands. That ball's going to come down about the 2-yard line. I went to UConn, 17 years to graduate. That's 48 plus 14. That's 62 yards in the air. He saw the corner, realized the safety was going to be beat, and let's launch this football. Again, look at the space that Justin Herbert realizes I can go throw that ball to. Not a lot of people in the NFL can push that ball 60-plus yards down the field while they got...
I'm right on pace. As I said, I'm healthy. If we had to play a game now, I feel like I can go out there, obviously, with the protection of my old line and making sure that I'm not getting beat up the whole game. I could go out there and be very successful, start the game, finish the game, and not even worry about the leg.
That is a little piece of the interview that Sage did with Dak, which he'll be the first guest on her new show. It's called Up Close with Sage Steele. It'll premiere in June on ESPN+. Dominique, whenever Dak is the subject, obviously we have to begin with you, as obviously you're a member of the family.
Did you feel the confidence exuding out of cousin Dak? The man got his money. The man's feeling healthy and happy.
God.
I cannot wait for this Dak Prescott MVP level campaign. It is going to be fantastic. Cousin Dak's going to be on fire. And I know Dan Orlovsky agrees with me. They might win the division. Mess around and win the division, Dan.
They ain't going to win the division. You know what I would like, Dom, is for you to know how to pronounce my last name. It's Orlovsky, not Orlovsky. The Cowboys are the third best team in this division, okay? The Washington football team and the Giants are both better. And I'll give you 2 reasons why. 1, I think the Giants and the Washington football team are better coached. And 2, if Ryan Fitzpatrick and or Daniel Jones plays good football, these are both going to be really good teams and playoff contending football teams. If Dak Prescott plays good football, that's still not a playoff team because their defense is still that bad. Their defensive line last year gave up 3.5 yards per carry before touching the person running the football. And they didn't do anything to address that defensive line substantially in the draft. The Giants and the Washington football team are better than the Dallas Cowboys.
Nate.
You're probably right, Dan Orlovsky. They're not going to win the division, but I don't care about the division at this point. I care about cousin Dak cooking these fools. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm a Dak Prescott fan. We established this a long time ago. I jumped on Dak when y'all all jumped off of it. Now all of a sudden, people have respect for him. Now all of a sudden, people...
The question is, which team is going to win the NFC East, not how is Dak Prescott going to play this season.
What is the answer?
Don't let the Chiron run your life. I talk about what I want to talk about on this show.